Hello, namaste. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So today's vlog is all about noticing when we've taken on somebody else's energy that isn't our own, and especially if we get like stressed out or worried about something. And this is specifically about, from my experience anyway, this is quite specifically about the workplace and like taking on either colleagues or especially taking on like our boss or our employer's stress. And it happened whereby I had to go in I freelance, so I work for lots of different other people. And one of them is this fantastic company, and I knew that like everything I was doing was like chilling. I was on top of everything in my mind. It was all totally organized. And then the person I'm working with was like, came in and was just like, can you make sure that this, and this, and this is all put together and all in a right order and everything. And I was suddenly like, yeah, okay, like, in my mind, kind of like scattered and thinking like, oh, like, have I organized it and da 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 da. And I just suddenly like stopped and was like, hold up, like that's not my stress. That's his stress, and I am organized and I've got everything under control and I know where everything's going and like it's all good basically. And it was interesting because like my boyfriend and I both do some work for this amazing company, and I was just saying it to my boyfriend like 2 days ago, like just be aware that that's maybe their own kind of like what they're dealing with, and it's all good, and just trust that your energy, you've got it all under control, and be aware of not taking on other people's stuff. And then, a day later or 2 days later, there I am like, do I have it? And then I'm like, ding! Oh my gosh, like that was just me taking on, his stress about that being organized. And in fairness, like he's probably not even stressed out about it. It's just something to do with still my own false perception or my own kind of old paradigm of like having to please people and having to make sure like I'm doing a good job and everything's okay. And he's probably not even stressed out. He's just like making sure like, oh yeah, everything's all put together, and on his end making, just doing, I guess, what a boss, or when you're working together, just making sure we're all on the same page and everything's all good. But my interpretation was like, oh no, like what if I'm not good enough, and what if I'm not doing it right? Aha! So that's a really interesting thing to look at in the workplace. Know yourself and know that you're doing everything you can and you're doing your best and you got it all under control, right? Because we are completely capable of anything the universe throws at us, anything that comes our way, we're completely capable of doing fantastically well if we believe that. But it's really noticing our kind of reactive patterns with different relationships that we have in our lives, and really kind of noticing if we're taking on somebody else's stress, or whether that's something, okay, I need to make sure that's all organized and it's all good to go. Like really looking at all of our relationships. Obviously, I'm talking specifically about our working relationships, but they're still just relationships. Looking at those relationships as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to expand, and to really get to know yourself better. And I'm somebody working in the kind of yoga meditation world that I'm more and more of the mind that like we don't need stress. Stress ultimately comes from false perception that we're all separate, that there's not enough, that we've got to like fight each other to try and get ahead and try to get lots of stuff. And that's just not necessary anymore, really. Coming from a place of love and coming from a place of healing ourselves, an aspect of our mind must be willing to just be completely open to that loving energy and to be willing to drop the stress patterns. So it's really, really powerful. Notice when you're getting yourself all stressed out. ask yourself, wait, is this mine or is this somebody else's? And perhaps if it is yours, just say, okay, relax and wait for guidance. It's really difficult to receive intuition or intuitive guidance when you're stressing. Like, you know, so ultimately, as soon as you notice the stress, take a nice deep breath, ask yourself some guidance, and trust that that guidance will come. And again, it can be applied to a working situation, but it can be just applied to every single relationship we have. We have a reaction to somebody. Ooh, you know, what is that? It's not about the other person, okay? It never ever is. Like, all of our kind of perceptions, all of our reactions are ultimately coming from the past. Right now, I think I'm on lesson like 6 or 7 in A Course in Miracles, and it says, I only see the past. So everything that I'm perceiving ultimately is in the past. And it's huge, right? This is a massive shift that we're undergoing in the world right now, in our own consciousness, right? Because actually there's no separation. And let's just go for it, you know, let's really grab this by the horns and move forward. I know a lot of kind of the light workers or whatever, I don't know why that expression kind of like, I still kind of have attachments about like airy-fairy hippie talk. But I get it in the sense that like we are beings of light and we're stepping forward into more light-filled expression. And so some of us are kind of aware of like, yeah, I'm an indigo kid, or I'm kind of like an Aquarian, or, you know, a light worker. So if you know that to be yourself, step into your power, truly own your thoughts and beliefs, let yourself be expressive. I know I've had some really powerful shifts recently, and this has to do with kind of the cosmic order and astrological happenings and stuff like that, where this whole year has been massive sheddings for a lot of us, like just getting rid of old paradigms, really being able to see the limitations that we're holding within our own being, allow them to come up, allow there to be intuitive guidance, allow your own self to kind of see the truth of the healing, and then be able to let it go, right? Because every time we have a really big emotional reaction is an opportunity for healing. So own the emotional reaction, give yourself space and time to allow it to be what it is. And I promise you, as that kind of emotional storm starts to pass, you will get guidance. You will be offered some insight or wisdom as to what that dark energy is. And then once you see it, again, with the light of your awareness, once you see that energy or that limitation or that frequency or whatever it is, you will shift. You will change. Your behavior will change, because you'll suddenly be like, oh, okay, that's why I'm doing that. So I don't need to do that anymore, because I don't want to. Like, I don't want to hold, you know, that stress pattern with people I work with. I don't want to have some kind of hierarchical paradigm of like, that person is higher than me and that person's lower than me and yada yada. So, and they're really the same two sides of the same coin, right? If we have inferiority complex with some people, then we're likely to flip it and have superiority complex over other people. And that behavior always comes from the ego, and it's always going to be limiting from us. I hope you've had a really, really good day and week, and keep checking my stuff, subscribe. I've relaunched my website, so it's got a new look. I've got a new logo, which I absolutely love, from Jake Paul White, or his designs. And everything's going really good. So please get in touch if you want to talk about law of attraction, or you just want some spiritual guidance. This is it, people. We're creating a fantastic new world, and get ready to kind of be super duper happy, blissed out, peaceful, letting yourself rest. Lots of new beginnings coming at us, or coming from within us. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Peace out, y'all.